Hey, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to my channel. You're listening to BlackSwanRadio.com. I'm your host, Rondale L. Jordan. What's up? I'm here. Do the boom. Is everything all good? All is well. This segment here is dedicated to your drive at work. Something to smooth out your day, some food for thought, some little different vibe than what you can find widely available on the internet. Right? I tune into the internet, and my algorithms reflect my reality. So there's a lot of talk, about dating in the modern world, right? Relationships between modern woman and modern man. I think the thing that everybody is forgetting about is that there is an agenda. The agenda is population control. And, Bill Gates actually has publicly stated the goal of reducing the global population 10 to 15%. And doing that by way of injections. But another method is by the educating women, exposing women to a mind frame of independence. And this mind frame is what's causing the divide. Once a person becomes empowered or enlightened, aware of their rights given to them by a system, and these rights have more to do what man can and cannot do to a woman. The number one thing that has impacted our society outside of the internet and social media is the woman entering into the job market. Now, I am neither for nor against this effort. I'm simply discussing about what is, what has happened, what the reality has presented itself. Who am I to change the way the world operates? I am here to learn how to operate within the world. Learn how the world operates so that I can fulfill my purpose here, which is to be fruitful and multiply, to create a body of work that will supersede my body here at work. What this ultimately means is the way you perceive, the way you understand. The Bible uses the word conceive or conception, which is a double entendre because that's the way we bring in life through the mind and through the physical body. the battle between man and woman is amplified when the woman enter the job market, because the seats that she sits in would ordinarily be the seat fulfilled by a man, and therefore the income that seat provides for the individual that seat would provide for that individual, if it was a man, the proceeds are used to provide for a household. Right? But if the seat is fulfilled or filled by a woman, her programming isn't provision, it's consumption. So this is the reason why women rarely discuss their money. You hear commonly, his money is my money is my money. Right? She doesn't want to use her money to pay for significant life expenses. Her money is to be considered extra for pampering, for shopping, from enhancement based off of her desires. This is, obviously not reality. Reality is that the job is, in many cases, provided for a single parent household. Because if a woman has to provide, she'd rather provide on her own with the children than with the man. She'd rather do 100% on her own with the children than have to go 50-50 with the man. That's the programming. When I was in Zanzibar in 2020, this was during the lockdowns in the Western Hemisphere, I watched the traditional way of life that has been passed down since the ancients. And in the morning, in the early mornings, when the sun is beginning to rise, you'll see the men and their sons go out on their makeshift boats, fishing. And then in the evening, you can go along the street where there is a marketplace. People buying and selling food. And you'll see the wife of the fisherman selling the fish she had fried with her daughter, and her daughter with her mother collecting the payments in exchange for the orders of fish. So what we've seen here is a family, male and female, both playing a role in the provision and guidance, teaching the young, which are also incorporated in the process, learning the art of exchange, and not only that, learning how to repeat the process in the next generation to provide food and shelter for the young, the offspring. So in many ways, I think we forget the whole premise of what the union is all about. See, men and women we come together for the purpose of creating family. We come together to multiply and be fruitful. To be fruitful and multiply. This is the reason why we come together. We come together. When we come together, we create eternal life. When we are separated, when we are independent, when we are independent, we are only one life. But when we come together, that's a double entendre. When we come together, we create eternal life. At least the possibility of it. Because we continue life beyond us. And we do favor, gain favor for and from our ancestors. See, eternal life is a word, one of those words that has been taken out of context. Like the word garden. Right? We know a garden is a small piece of land. But the Garden of Eden had trees, had livestock, had resident labor, it had vegetation. It was more closely defined as a plantation. In the reset, Noah, it says he planted a vineyard. He was a farmer. Originally, it says he was a husbandman. And they changed that to a farmer. If you compare the King James to the New King James. Either way, the farm and the garden, plantation, taken out of context. Same thing word, Lord, which means master. See, if the plantation and the word master was used, you see, the narrative now becomes more clear. So, certain choice of words were used to sweeten the poetry. The pi, 3.1415. Genesis 3.1415. Pi. It's the center premise. The measure of the circumference, or the center of Genesis through Revelations. The land of the black people, the tropical people, conquered by the war tribes from the polars, the polar opposite. So I'm going to summarize this with the Ankh. See, if you listen to my podcast, you know that I break down the biblical texts and put back the African perspective that was taken out of context. And one of the major things is the serpent goddess, Wajet. The pharaohs adorn their crown chakras with the Uraeus, or the Eye of Ra, which was the divine feminine counterpart to the divine sun god Ra, Amun Ra. And so the goddess has been cut out of the Ankh, so the Ankh was turned into the sword or the cross. And we'll discuss more of that in our next podcast. Until then, tune in again. Keep the faith. Peace out.